Hey guys, Game Prime here. And in response to the title of the video, for the first time in a while, the answer is maybe. Let's get into it real quick, because I'm just not gonna take a lot of time. I don't know if I'm completely smoking the hopium on this one or not, but there was an interview with the head of Sucker Punch Productions, Brian Fleming, that just came out yesterday because Sucker Punch's new game, Ghost of Yotei, came out, which is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. I'm saying it that way because I can't say it any other way. But at the very end of the article, and the article is on VideoGamesChronicle.com, by the way, VGC, they do great work over there. At the end of the article here, he says, "The truth is that whatever we do next, whether it's continuing Ghost or going back to Sly, the decision is really more limited by, again, our cherishing of focus and time to iterate, which means that we really can only do one thing at a time. If we were good at juggling 4 projects, yeah, we'd have a remaster, and let's go do one of those, and do some fan request. That would be really popular. But we only get to do one thing, so it kind of has to be your best idea, right?" And that's really clarifying. It's not like there aren't 15 good ideas, but you only get to do one. And by the way, you only get to do one about every 5 years. So that choice is really important. I mean, that is choosing your college and your major every 5 years. That's a really big decision, so you better think carefully about it. So that's a little chunk to digest, but the number one thing, obviously, is right in the beginning there. So why would Brian Fleming, the head of Sucker Punch, go out and just pretty much say, what we're doing next is a choice between continuing Ghost or going back to Sly? That's the way that sentence was worded. Could 100% mean something else. That could just not, be the two choices that they have. I could be reading way too far into this, I probably am. However, a part of me doesn't think I'm reading into it that far, because this kind of sparked, not outrage, but it sparked conversation on Twitter, and rightfully so. Why would you say something like that without, having somewhat of a plan or an idea to go back to Sly? Infamous ain't even mentioned here. So it's not like, oh, okay, maybe, we could go do more Ghost, do more Infamous, go back to Sly. No, it's right there in the sentence, whether it's continuing Ghost or going back to Sly. Those are the two options. That's the fork in the road. What way they travel down, who knows? We'll probably know in a couple years' time, obviously. But I've read that, and I was like, they can't say something like that. They literally cannot say something like that without sparking all this conversation. The fact that I'm making this video right now is because of it. I personally think that they kind of do want to go back to Sly, even though a lot of the team is new and wasn't there when they worked on Sly. I also think that it wouldn't take them 5 years to make a Sly game, especially, considering when the original trilogy came out, they all released within a couple of years of each other. And of course that's, the old PS2 technology, and it was probably a little bit easier to make games back in that era, but I don't know if Sly needs a 5-year development cycle unless they're doing something really crazy with it. I don't even think Astro Bot had a 5-year development cycle. It might have had like a 3.5 year, if that. But yeah, it's just weird, and I just wanted to make this video to, bring it out to the world more, because it's just plain weird. Why would he say that? Like, I've reread it 1,000 times. The truth is, whatever we do next, whether it's continuing Ghost or going back to Sly, the decision is really more limited by, again, our cherishing focus of time, blah blah blah. Like, that's a crazy sentence to say and to, get the hopes up of all of us. And like I said, you know, I could be reading too much into it, but at the same time, maybe Brian shouldn't have said those exact words in that exact order, because he knows, or I'm pretty sure he knows how hungry this fan base is for another game, and especially another game by the original creators. So for him to just say that it's nuts. But I'm gonna stop repeating myself because there's nothing really much more to go on. But I just kind of figured I'd make a video and talk about this for a second because it's just plain weird, and it's like, I think this is the biggest dose of hopium we've all had in a long time. But it would also kind of make sense. The original trilogy's on the PS5 now. You know, there's merch every year, something new for Sly merch-wise coming out, so that's, you know, nothing to base off of. But the original Sucker Punch trilogy is on PS4 and 5. Sales did really good. Astrobot won Game of the Year, so I could see it happening. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Just another step in the direction of getting our raccoon back. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.